turn our attention a little bit to Baker Mayfield. I'm going to give you a couple of things here, a couple of elements. So this is from NFL Rumors. They tweet out that the Seahawks have turned up their pursuit to trade for the Browns, to trade with the Browns for Baker Mayfield. Kind of interesting. All right, now let's head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This is from one of the biggest supporters of Baker Mayfield that we know, a Sooner fan. Let's listen to his thoughts.
Hey, Dave, you know who I am. I don't have to say anything about that. I've got a new take on what people said about if Baker Mayfield would have sat out like Joe Burrow and that he'd be the starting quarterback and everything be fine and dandy. The reason why is I heard Jimmy Haslam talk about Deshaun Watson, how he's the future of the team, how you rarely ever get a chance to take a 26-year-old elite quarterback like that. And so he laid out basically all the golden eggs that he had in his basket. Now, I don't blame him. That's what he wants to do. The only problem is that baggage isn't going to go away. People haven't forgot Ray Rice. You know, they haven't forgot Ben Roethlisberger. You may put it in the back of your mind, but what about if Deshaun Watson gets hurt? That could simply probably be a possibility. As always, I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you. Goodbye.
As always, we appreciate all of the voicemails. You know, the other thing, Tim, is you could say that about any quarterback, running back, wide receiver in the NFL. What if they get hurt? Yeah, it's really interesting. Now, before we wrap up our Baker Mayfield and get your thoughts on this one's kind of interesting as well. Mike Florio proposes a three-way trade with Baker Mayfield. Browns sending Mayfield to the Panthers, Panthers sending a draft pick or two to the 49ers, 49ers sending Garoppolo to Cleveland. The question of paying Mayfield's $18.8 million guaranteed salary continues to complicate any such situations. It's important to note Garoppolo has a bigger number, like at almost $27 million. So what are your thoughts? All of that Baker Mayfield stuff that we threw out there for you.
Well, I'll start with the three-team thing. That would be very interesting. I don't know if it would happen because, I mean, unless Deshaun Watson is getting suspended for the season and the Browns know his contract's going to toll into next season where the cap hit would only still be a couple $1 million and the Browns would still have like 80 million or whatever in the all season. Unless that were to happen, I don't know if a Garoppolo thing would work because they don't want to pay Baker $18.9 million if he's not the starter. So why would they want to pay Jimmy Garoppolo $25 million unless he's a starter? That's really the only way in which I think that would even be kind of a possibility. You know, I'm going to kind of go backwards here. So what the caller was saying about, you know, the health of Baker, we'll never know. I think that's the ultimate what if out of all of this is what if Baker doesn't get hurt, you know, or what if he sits out after the game against Houston in week 2? What if he doesn't play it down this season? Say the Browns go 7-10 with Case Keenum and everyone's last memories of Baker are, you know, yeah, he had that interception against the Chiefs, but also remember that he took them to the playoffs the year prior. They won a playoff game with him at quarterback. You know, that would kind of really create more of a question as far as who Baker is as a pro quarterback versus what we have now, which is kind of a clearer picture that maybe he's not on the same level as Deshaun Watson. And when it comes to the Seattle Seahawks, I think this is kind of, you know, no surprise that maybe they would kind of sneak in. I mean, remember, their quarterback room is Drew Lock and Geno Smith. I don't know how that's not inspiring much confidence unless they're going to be one of the teams kind of in the mix for C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or one of those quarterbacks in the 2023 draft. I don't know how you could sell that to your team if you're the Seahawks, saying that, you know, Baker may be out there, but, you know, they're going to stick with the guys they have. And remember, they got two of the better receivers in football, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. You got to placate, and you don't want to make either of those guys disappointed. I mean, I'm sure for all of Baker Mayfield's problems, they'd rather have Baker throwing them the football than Drew Lock and Geno Smith, who have really shown no level of consistent NFL success at any point in their careers.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Don't forget Noah Fant is over there too, tight end, really talented young tight end that they acquired in the Russell Wilson trade.